Hello everyone, it's Opulence here, and today I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be starting a series that's going to be over a long time, but it's basically my favorite artist of the year. And this year, it easily goes to Citizen Soldier, like without a doubt. And I'll explain why, but first I have to explain how I got into Citizen Soldier, and that starts back in 20 last year actually. Yeah, 2021, late 2021. I think this year's 2022, right? Yeah, time is weird. But I was scrolling through YouTube and saw the lyric video for Hand Me Down, and I listened to that because, you know, dealing with some crap, wanted to hear some music. That's basically my entire life right there. But I heard Hand Me Down and I was not expecting for a song to hit me that hard and relate to that hard. So I decided to check them out, and I heard songs like Just Be Happy, If I Surrender, Say Goodbye, and I think My Little Secret was also one of the first ones I heard, and I really got into them at that point. And since then, This Is Your Sign Part 2 and Scarecrow have released. And oh my goodness, those two albums are so good. But specifically, the one that I'm going to talk about more today is Scarecrow. But first, I want to touch on some other songs that I think really help build up why Citizen Soldier is my favorite artist this year. So first of all, Hand Me Down, not Hand Me Down. Yes, Hand Me Down. First song I heard was Hand Me Down. My brain is being fried right now. Let It Burn. That's one of the songs I want to talk about. Let It Burn. I love that song. It's so good. I'm going to say that about every song. Every song's great in their own way, and I love all of them, but Let It Burn is that one song that I've always been able to go to, and that's a fight song for me. That is a song that I can listen to at any time, and it gives you that overwhelming reassurance, which is very similar to Thank You for Hating Me. That one I relate to a lot because some crappy people in the past. And then Stronger Than My Storm I've actually gotten into recently, and I never expected to because I didn't really like that song whenever I first heard it, but now I really like it. And I had a similar situation with Unsaid on This Is Your Sign Part 2. That one I really like as well. Who I Am and You Are Not Your Past off of This Is Your Sign Part 2. And we'll throw Waiting on the Sun in there too. Those three songs off that album, I love them. I love all the songs on that album, but those three are way up here. They're super good. You Are Not Your Past, probably one of my favorite positive songs they've ever written. Who I Am, I mean, it's a really good emotional song. Waiting on the Sun, that is slow song, piano ballad perfection. And then we get into Scarecrow. And the first song I want to talk about is the first song that released, Monster Made of Memories. That came out of nowhere, and holy crap, it sounded so different. And I was all for it because I started getting into the heavier metal at that point. So I heard that and I immediately loved it. I was like, okay, this sounds like a one-off single, right? And then we got Save Your Story, and then Let Me Let Go, and then Fever, and it kept going. And I was like, okay, this is an album and I'm loving it. And then fast forward towards the full album's release, and Tattoos, Scarecrow, and Suicide Note are the three songs to drop with the album. And I don't even know what to say about them. Scarecrow, absolutely love the callback to Monster Made of Memories because it uses the same exact melody but slowed down with softer vocals, and it's so good. Like, it's so haunting, and that's exactly what the song was going for. Tattoos is like the positive song piano ballad that makes you feel things. And Jake's vocals on that song are just so good. Then Suicide Note is the most chaotic song I think I've ever heard, and I love it. Well, that I've ever heard from Citizen Soldier, and I'm all for it. It's so good. My favorite song off the album right there. And then some other songs that I really liked were Golden Weather, which that one, like, that's competing second place for favorite song on the album. It is, the verses are super good. I love how it picks up in the chorus. And then the very quiet scream at the very end of it is so good. And then Madhouse and Anyone But Me, I love how gritty and haunting they are, and how they really capture that this rock feeling that Citizen Soldier was going for in this album. So, with the release of This Is Your Sign Part 2 and Scarecrow this year, and all the music and the relatability and really the interactions on some of the live streams, and then getting the pre-order bundle for Scarecrow this year, like, they have to be my favorite artist. And I don't say that like, oh, come on, they have to be. I mean, like, I'm very glad that they are my favorite artist of this year. I highly recommend listening to them, like, for anyone. Like, you like slow songs, they got slow songs. You like heavy songs, they got heavy songs. You like feeling things, they got emotional songs. You want to be pumped up, they got those fight songs. They've got everything, and it's great. And that's one of the reasons why they are my favorite artist of this year. Some others that I was considering putting on here are Starset, um, which I feel like is too obvious to put them on here. Tom MacDonald was actually probably my closest second here, because I recently got into him, and his music is awesome. Like, more people should listen to him. And his song Ghost is actually about to win the #1, so that's cool. We Came as Romans, which I recently got into them, so I didn't have as much time to really grow into them, but their music I really like. 3 Days Grace could have been put here too, along with Shinedown, and but those, like, were kind of, I really like them, but they definitely weren't my favorite artist of the year. I Prevail was probably like my third place option, because sheerly because of True Power. Like, True Power came out, and that's whenever I got into them like really heavy. Like, I used to listen to a little bit off of Trauma, and that was it. But after True Power came out, I loved it, and then I started listening to everything else, and I really got into it. So, with all that being said, Citizen Soldier, favorite artist of the year. Thank you so much for the music that you've made and the amount of effort that you've put into the community. Like, take a break. Like, go take care of yourself for a bit, you know. Don't stress yourself over making music for all these people. Like, you deserve it at this point. You deserve it so much, because of all the work that you put into this, and all the effort and honesty that goes into all your music.